That's it. Hard cut to video. What's up, everyone? Happy Friday night. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and you're watching from a certain point of view, where myself and the Boba Squadron are going to break down episode 4 of the Disney Plus TV show Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um,
Hello there.
Perfect. And thank you for joining us tonight. If you're, here for the first time, it gets a little silly, it gets a little long, but it's a lot of fun. Honestly, I watch a lot of YouTube stuff and about Kenobi, and I'm probably a little biased, but this is probably the most fun that I see on there. And I think from the reactions of everyone in the chat all the time, you all enjoy it too. So if this is your first time watching, I hope you like it and you subscribe to the channel. If this is you're coming back here, welcome back, and good to see you. Welcome to the Butter Nation, and I'm glad everyone's here tonight. Thank you for everyone who's shared this on your stories. If you haven't yet, let everyone know. Just share it on your socials, share it on your Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff that we're live tonight, and it's going to be a good time. Hopefully, no more. What's the over and under? Let me know in the chat on how long this goes. Yoko is taking bets. No, Ernie's going to be the book tonight. But yes, if you're new to the channel, I like to talk about toys here, action figures, things like that, unboxings, and when there's cool new TV shows and movies, there are new toys. So we get to talk about the shows, we get to talk about the toys, and most importantly, we're just a couple of friends just hanging out, and we get to do it with you, the viewer, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna do this real quick tonight before I bring the host, the other co-hosts on, because they're like sitting there sometimes when I'm shouting everyone out. But I want to thank everyone who's very active in the chat. We have Darth Gutierrez, Sam Rock, channel member, Bloody Sunday. I am saying that right? Because it's a V instead of a U. Here's a little music, so it's not as boring. But yes, thank you for being here and checking into the chat real quick. Lucky Butters here, Jake Peterson, what's going on? Channel members, Matt Logic 44, Aaron S, Tom, thank you for being here. Lucky Butter, Val A, another channel member, how are you doing? Melissa K, Thomas D, Aaron S, Innocent is here. A lot of Canadians in the chat. I love it. Let's see. D Sertle, what's going on? And I love that the chat is just everyone just showing up, catching up with each other in the chat. This is some of the best parts because it's like a lot of people from the Bitter Brigade and Midnight 30 and the Butter Nation all here just gelling together in the stew of everything, mixing and stewing. Charles Stevens, welcome to the stream. Anonymous Dude, that was weird. Anonymous Dude 123. That was a weird accent. Anonymous Dude. Let's see. RMD Collective. What's going on? Another channel member. Winger Loses here. Happy Friday, Winger Lose. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna get into some Kenobi stuff, and the chat just jumped on me. Channel member 8 and Skate is here. Christopher Colvin, welcome. Kevin McAllister, straight from Home Alone. Bitter Asian Dude Inc. Thank you for being here. Bad Wolf Media, you made it. Are you going to tune in just for a little bit? Matthew Toys here. Marcus Yee. Ryan is here. I give Paul 2 hours. Everyone else 2.5 hours. What? Oh, Paul's going to leave? Oh, they might have a date. Live in La Vida Yoko is here on Twitch. If you prefer Twitch, this is available there as well. Twitch.tv/toyingaround. Penfred Nudo is in the house on Twitch as well. Thank you for being here. Gary, Bitter Troll. Fantastic people. Let's get into it. Our first co-host tonight. I think she's ready. She represents the Midnight 30 crew. If you want to do this live right after a new episode airs and don't want to hang out with me, or maybe you can do both. You can catch Yoko on her Twitch channel, Live in La Vida Yoko. I already said her name. This is Yoko.
Do both. We can do both. Yeah. Hey,
Welcome.
everyone. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Give this a like.
Because what happens when we get to 100 thumbs up?
Whether you want it or not, there might be some Bobo feed action.
Oh, let's not promise anything tonight. Yes, because there might not be feet action. But
Okay.
how are you?
Maybe
Welcome
not.
back.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's everyone?
I'm well. I'm just excited to get get into this. And let's bring on the next person. I want to get
Yeah.
into it. Let's try to keep this a tight 3 hours tonight.
A tight
Um,
3 hours.
yeah, it's just give or
Yeah,
take.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
a professional actor and collector. You've seen him on a lot of fantastic shows. A Canadian icon. I switched the words around. Canadian icon and a very professional YouTuber. Our friend Paul Sun-hyung Lee. Paul, Paulie.
He's had some late nights. He might be asleep. Oh, there he is.
What's up, everybody? How's
Hey
it going?
man.
I'll keep doing it as long as I keep getting laughs from you guys.
Ooh, nice shirt.
Yes, right? Look at that. I got this in the
Amazing.
mail. I saw the shirt that you wore.
Yeah, I
Yoko,
could have
got super
I could have
jealous.
matched it. I could have matched you if I had known.
Yeah, so Kevin was nice enough to send me along one of these exclusive Carson Teva t-shirts.
I don't even have one. It's so
There you go.
exclusive. I made it. I don't even have one.
There's only 2 of us that have them, Yoko.
I know.
So there you go. It's a collector's edition.
A
I
few
think
people
some
bought
people
them.
bought it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I linked it. It's saved in my stories, in my story highlights.
Well,
If
Why did
someone
nobody
wants a
buy
link
the
right this
sweatpants?
second.
There you go.
The leggings? Yeah, we need someone to wear the leggings.
I'm like, honestly, maybe I'll buy the leggings and wear them. If we hit 150 likes, I will
150?
personally go out and get a pair of those Carson Teva tights, and I will model them for all y'all. And Ernie will show his feet. We'll get to see the Obi-Wan
Oh my
Kenobi
goodness.
live and in person. That's right, the following Fett. He will be doing that, and maybe he'll wear his Fett chonies at the same time. So I'll be modeling the Teva tights and the Fett chonies with his
Would the
Obi-Wan.
fit chonies be over or under the tights?
Ooh,
Superhero
let's-
style.
let's
Yeah.
let everybody. If we hit 300 likes,
They can
3,000 likes, then y'all can pick how you want it. We'll have a members poll. How's that?
Mm.
So
Is
I'm
my
like
mic
it.
okay?
I've been playing so much freaking Fallen Order.
Mhm.
So it's killing me. It's killing me. And this is gonna tie into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, it's perfect
So
because I'm going to go to yours and Yoko's expertise because I haven't gotten to that part yet in the game. But if you guys want to watch Paul do some unboxings or play Jedi Fallen Order, please check out Bitter Asian Dude Inc. here on YouTube. I'm sure in the chat you're already following him, but in the off chance that you're not, there's a lot of hilarious moments, hilarity. So I can't wait to for some new viewer to tune in and be like, what is happening on this stream? It gets wild. It gets wild. But
yeah,
it's fun.
somebody on Twitter clipped like a 20-second bit of gameplay from me last night, and all it is me just F this, F that, F EA, F Respawn, F Fortress Inquisitorius, F Cal, F the Second Sister, F these lightsabers, F. That's all it is. Because I got super frustrated. It's a frustrating game, is all I'm going to say. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4.
Episode 4. Heck
Yeah.
yes. I just want to say I'm at 3,499 subscribers here on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. There's a huge influx in channel members lately. If you see in the chat, there's a little pop-up that says that you accept gifts or memberships because there's a new YouTube option where you can gift a channel membership to other viewers. So make sure you click OK if you see that pop-up, and you might get a channel membership. And if you haven't joined yet or you thinking about it, you get to use the special emojis in the chat. There's some new content. I just posted a new video yesterday, which is a review for these Black Series figures. This is currently, oh, my face is really big. This is currently for members only right now, which is some of the perks that you get as a channel member. So you can join or you can gift a subscription to other people. Let's not forget the final member of our Boba Squadron, officially a not prospect, a full-fledged, full patch member of the squad, and that is
it Larry? Larry saw the open spot and he came running in.
Yay for Larry! Congratulations.
Hey, welcome, Larry. No, it's Ernie. Unfortunately, will not be able to join us tonight. He's not feeling 100%. So we made Larry full patch into the
There you
team.
go.
So Larry, sorry it took so
Marianne,
long.
get your own chair though. You're kind of heavy.
All right. I think if we have time at the end, we can do toys, but
Oh.
they haven't really. Oh wait, no. What's new this week? The Hasbro Retro Collection Obi-Wan figures, which I think it's not for everybody. They're in the old 5 POA style action figure, but there's Vader, the fifth brother, the Grand Inquisitor, Ned B, and Obi-Wan. And I think it's cool they can do a whole wave from one TV show, and have it to be able to be announced. I don't know if anyone in the chat is getting that. Paul, are you into the retro stuff?
I am, and because it's like a throwback to the old days, and that's why I kind of like them. There's a kitschy value to them as well. So yeah, I think I'll pick up that wave, and they're small, so they're easy to store, and hopefully they're easier to get.
Yeah, those ones aren't exclusive or anything, so you should
That's
be able to
great.
get them fairly easily. I had lunch with my friend Jason this week, and he is a big fan of 3 3/4 because that's what he grew up with. And
Right.
like, if this is the golden age of Star Wars, it might be the golden age of 3 3/4 for people from that era because he's getting like Super 7 reaction GI Joes. He's getting Marvel in 3 3/4. He just ordered a Mezco uh, Adam West Batman set.
Nice.
And then now he's getting like a retro Vader that he was like, oh, back in the day, you would only have the telescoping lightsaber out of his arm, but this Vader, you can actually take it out. And it's what customizers have been making this whole time. So he's super stoked to be able to do all this stuff. So that's cool to see.
Nice.
Yoko, you got new stuff in?
I got my Cantono.
Oh my God. Sweet.
I bet if I opened it, Larry would try to sit inside it.
Yep.
Do we want to see this, chat?
I haven't even tried to open it yet, though.
We have a new channel member, Thomas D.
Smooth like butter.
Thank you for becoming a member here on the channel. And welcome. Feel free to use a whole bunch of those emojis in the chat. Get familiar with everyone. Also, Quinn Calling? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Another channel member. Thank you for tuning in and supporting. All right, Yoko, what did you show something?
I also got my Fennec Cost Baby that I've been waiting for forever. I haven't unboxed
Nice.
it yet. This stuff came. Oh, you made me big. This stuff came in this afternoon, so I haven't had a chance to really dive into it yet.
Nice.
New toys. Kim
Rip into it. I got 2 packs of the Star Wars Signature Series.
Ooh, are we going to start with that?
2022. I opened one yesterday. I don't, Paul, this is what I got.
Oh, okay.
Not great. 6 out of 10 though.
Yeah. Everybody loves a little
7
bit of Sio Bibble.
Everyone loves
Sio Bibble.
Bibble.
Is it Bibble? I thought it was an
Sio?
I. Okay.
Isn't it Sio Bibble?
CSIO. I don't know.
Sio Bibble, Carson Tiva, Peva,
Nobody
Reva,
knows.
Reva.
We need to ask John. I have one more that I haven't opened yet.
Nice.
Now or after?
Do it now. Let's go.
Now.
Do it now?
Do it now.
Oh, I didn't have my unboxing cam ready because like a true YouTuber. In the meantime, while I open this. No, we are not doing hour 4. Yoko, you got some other stuff in that you're saving for later, right? Or are you opening? Oh, sorry. Did she spill her drink? Spill her cat? Oh.
I forgot. Did I spill my cat?
You got your hot
forget that
toy.
How could I forget that I got this?
Yay, Captain Rex. Nice.
But I'm going to
That's
unbox
awesome.
this on my stream on Tuesday.
Sweet.
So that's why I hid it from myself, so I don't think about it until Tuesday. That's why I forgot. Is that what you were referring to, Kevin?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have 796 Studios in the chat. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take this cellophane off. And what kind of reveal should I do? Did something happen?
Your mic got really hot all of a sudden.
It's weird how you said it. He's like, your mic got really hot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Let me use this. It's so hot. I don't know what this thing is doing. It's really bothering me. Should I just get a new mic? All right. This is really professional. Oh, I see why.
No, it's really quiet. That's really quiet.
Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Is this good?
Oh.
All right, here we go. Here it is. I'm just gonna open it. Everyone ready? Do we want to do the? Oh, Paul's gonna.
You're just going to open it?
Paul's got to do the burlesque music.
I'm not sure this fits.
Of course it does.
Confirmed Star Wars. Confirmed Star Wars. What is that?
The Emperor from
No.
Empire Strikes Back. Oh yeah, it's a woman in that.
The Emperor. Is this
Yeah,
Clive Revill, voice
the
of
voice.
the Emperor?
but the actual person in the suit is a woman with the things on it. But because they wanted the Emperor to look sort of what's the description, like a little bit off. So they had, that's a woman in there. It's an older woman with the goggles. It's the goggles. They do nothing.
The goggles. All right, chat. What do you think? Oh, super reflection. Pretty cool looking card. I have no idea who the dude is, but I dig it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's no Sio Bibble, but
It just sounds like gibberish sometimes. Bad Wolf Media says it's a woman in the makeup, but Clive Revill is pretty good to get a signature from. Oh, okay. Thanks. You want to buy it, or did you want it? Did you? All right, let's get into the episode. Episode 4. Man, there's 2 episodes left after this. and I don't know. Is everyone in the chat? Are you liking the show so far? Let me know, or let me know if you're watching the replay. All right, I'm just gonna make sure my mic keeps jumping. Very strange. Wait, is that better, right? Why does it keep doing that? All right, I know what I'm doing. Here we go. Episode 4. Previously, we had the showdown between Vader and Kenobi. Oh yeah, spoilers. 21 minutes in, not bad. 21 minutes in, there's spoilers for the Kenobi TV show. Last week's episode, this week's episode. If you don't like spoilers, please watch this after you've watched the episode. And if you don't mind, please grab some boba. Where's my drink?
Or go
Grab a
watch it
seat.
and come back, because we'll still be here.
No.
Especially this week. It's a short.
Cheers.
We'll leave us
Cheers.
on. Go watch it. Oh. Cheers. I'm ready.
Yes.
Don't go call my boba place. I guess you could.
This is why we are the Boba Squadron. I love it.
I just want to point out that this is the earliest we've started talking about the episodes. 21 minutes in, our average is about 45 minutes before we actually start.
Stop.
I just want to point out, Ernie's not here. That's a whole 20 minutes we saved with Ernie not being here. And we also did an unboxing. So just going to put it out
Oh, that's
there.
right.
No
Sounds
judgment.
about
I'm just
so
saying.
confirmed. It takes Ernie 20 minutes to rattle through all his shows he's on and stuff.
Well,
that's where the
we
extra
missed-
time comes from.
We miss Ernie's energy, but he also has his 47 podcasts that he's on. So it's
That's right.
that's the time it takes to that's the time we've saved, I guess. But yes, previously the Kenobi Vader showdown. Kenobi escapes some of the fiery. I don't know. It still seems weird to me that he let him go and he couldn't walk around the fire. There are still some things that I'm waiting to have
Yeah.
my questions
Especially
answered.
given how mad he was in this episode when
Mhm.
Reva let him go, like lost him. So it's kind of like, well, you kind of had him there, and it's like you couldn't use the Force to drag him back across. Like, there was weird because there's that whole idea of did he let Luke go? Luke, oh my God, did he let Obi-Wan go? Let him want them to suffer type thing. And he's just kind of toying with them, and it's weird. Or maybe he's just bipolar, and it's just like, I want him right now. No, I'm going to toy with him. No, I want him right now. No, I'm going to toy with him. Like, you don't know. So, but it definitely seemed like such a big swing, his anger at the end of this episode, which we'll get to in about 3 hours.
I think it's because other people screwed up and he got away, not because he didn't choose to let him get away. That's the difference.
That's not very, holding the same standard, for other people and himself.
This is Darth Vader. He does manage
standards.
People.
What? He seems reasonable. He seems like a logical kind of guy.
And I'm loving this. Bitter Troll, absolutely. His force meter was empty. It empties very quickly for some reason. The force meter, if that game is canon, I'm like super disappointed.
What's that, Larry? Larry has something to chime in.
Larry's telling me to shut the hell up.
No, this is Lucy. She's
Lucy.
jealous that she didn't get to join.
They can be co-hosts.
Well, there's always season 2, Lucy.
She is more talkative.
There you go. Hey, Lucy, look at that. Check that out, Ernie.
Oh, who's the fat
Did
baby?
you drop her? Don't drop her.
Whoop.
Now I did. It's a cat. They're fine.
They're fine.
Right?
It's fine.
Oh, she's
She's
back.
like, I'm gonna go mess up your toys now. Let's see. Our Toy Box of Doom is in the chat. Says, I got to chat with Ernie and Chama the other day about Transformers and all sorts of fun stuff on the Fallen Fett Chronicles. Yes. Since Ernie isn't here, definitely should plug our friend's channel. Go check it out. He streams every Wednesday. Hey, I know we're talking about Ernie, but chill. He streams every Wednesday night at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Talks about anything he wants. And on Saturdays, how we do Disney, he talks about his adventures in Disney and advice and tips on going out to the parks. Thank you, Toy Box of Doom, for reminding me. All right, win or lose, you are correct. The show officially starts when a screenshot is up, and that is 25 minutes. Still ahead.
I can't believe
I love you,
you
Ernie,
and
but
I-
we're still 20 minutes faster.
And I can't believe Kevin and I weren't invited to talk about Transformers with you. No one knows more about Transformers than us.
It would be dead weight on that chat. 100%.
I was kidding because I also don't know anything.
No, I get jokes. I get jokes.
Thank you.
Yes. So we start off this episode. It's picking up right from the end of the last one. He's getting escorted out after being burned really badly, and of course, I'm getting kind of tired of these last minute rescues. Like, oh, we're in danger, and then out of nowhere, someone's gonna save us. I don't know if it's the format of the 6 episodes. Paul, you've been mentioning, like, it's meant to be watched as a long movie. Now, when it's all out, I'm gonna rewatch it and see if I have that same perception. But it's like, at the end of every episode, you can't get into this problematic situation, and then some hero comes in out of nowhere to save you. It's happened a few times now, so it's just, I don't know, it's not that suspenseful if you're just waiting for it from now on. But that's me. I don't know how you all feel.
So you were upset that Obi-Wan was saved, is what you're saying? You want him to burn in the fire a little bit more? Let's shave you his head. Let's shave you his head, and we'll put some scar tissue all over him. Aye, that'll be great, right? No,
For
like,
him, yeah, it's just I would like it. I like him to. Sorry, I would like to see him
save
um
himself.
say yes, be successful and like get away himself instead of like some unknown force coming in.
See, the
He
thing
doesn't
that I
have to.
love, the thing that I loved about this, and like what you're talking about is Deus Ex Machina, right? It's like God from a save from a machine, basically.
Mhm.
It's something that is, I get it, it's tried and true. But what I love is, and I think what a lot of people in fandom seem to misinterpret as, Disney and Lucasfilm hate their legacy characters, is like they're putting him through the ringer because they're breaking him down. He's already starts off the series as a broken man. He goes across, like he's a shell of himself. He's on this journey right now where he's hopefully, and I see the transition happening in this episode specifically, from Ben Kenobi back to Obi-Wan. And he's faced his biggest fear, which is he's going out there. He's faced Darth Vader. He's got his ass kicked. But this has become now like his biggest fear was failure because he failed before. And now he feels like he's failing again. But this is the beginning of his journey back towards the light side, it seems. And from the back to tank to all this, you see him in so many different ways changing from the way he was before. So I kind of like this because it's like he's hit rock bottom at this point. He's hurt, he's damaged, he's reliving this confrontation, but instead of just withdrawing and hiding or giving up, he's very adamant. You see him, we've got to save Leia. This is what we need to do. And he starts in on the new character. We'll get to the new characters later, but he's very, very much turned the page, and he's doing what initially he didn't want to do. Right? Didn't help the Jedi on Tatooine. Didn't want to help Bail Organa get Leia, but now he's firmly on this path, and this is after he's gone through extreme suffering. And so I kind of like this part where it's like, yeah, you can't do it on your own. You need that assistance. You need help. And he is not alone, which is another thing, because I think for the longest time, he felt like he was alone. But hearing about Quinlan Voss, right, knowing that he has all this support, he's been saved by people he doesn't know have helped him. I think that's the beginning of his journey, like where his mindset has changed. It's like he is not isolated anymore. And so he can do this. I don't know. That's just me.
Because remember in the last episode too, when Leia was like, "Why don't you believe that they're trying to help us or something?" And he was like, "Not all people are good." So I feel like it's him coming back around and then, but remembering that there are some people who are good too. You think so too? She thinks so too.
Thanks, new Ernie. Yeah, Val A says, since they cannot die, there's no way around it. But no, yeah, he can. Well, we'll see. Things will pick up. I think things are going to work out for Obi-Wan. So he's being rescued onto the base on, was it Jabim that they went to directly? Jabim. And he's thrown into the Bacta tank to heal his injuries. And maybe we've been trained by Book of Boba Fett, but I was expecting flashbacks. Or something. Flashback yeah. Anything like that. But that's, different shows. That's fine. I didn't get what I wanted.
But he was having a flashback. It was just like of a few hours ago. Right? He's reliving that battle that happened in the past.
True.
He's thinking about it, and that connection between him and Vader, in their separate little Bacta tanks, having a bath together, basically. And
simultaneous baths, not baths together. We had that debate with Boba Fett and Chrysanthemum.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no,
I'm gonna make you a bath.
They definitely hot tub together, unlike Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yeah.
And they're both taking their baths together, and I think deliberately they're showing the shots of them with like the same shots, the same actions. Kenobi's hand is twitching. It'll cut right to Anakin, and Anakin just has a stump. It's like, oh. He's like, I can't do that. Yoko, you look like Blofeld. Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Because you have your cat.
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
It's
Blofeld was the villain in Bond. Dr. Evil was based on him.
Yeah.
I look evil?
Yeah. Just like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you look like he was. Did you watch the new Bonds? The most recent ones?
No,
Did he have a cat?
I've only
Christoph
seen
Waltz?
Pierce.
Doesn't matter. Off topic. Rick Jones is in the chat. What's going on, Anton? Welcome, Aiden Skate. I like this. His harness for the back to tank looks very simple. I don't know if it's done to make it look like the equipment in the original trilogy, or if it's just make it look like it's a maybe like a cheap little put together base. But I just like the look of it. It's very like regular modern day stuff or our world stuff. But here's Stump, and they're both.
Here's
Are
a
they?
stump.
Here's Stump. Do you think they're connecting, like Ray and they're starting to the dyad, like Ray and what's his face?
Well, that's
Kylo
been
Ren?
happening for a couple episodes now, right?
Yeah. Is it getting stronger? Are we supposed to, just guess that it's happening, or is it more making it more obvious now that because the cues are kind of the same, the motions?
I think
I think
now that
it's
they are
getting
aware of
stronger.
each other, what they're doing is it's more universe building. Like they said, like that was first introduced to us in the sequel trilogy that connection in the Force. I think now it's sort of like that retroactive sort of reinforcement of these Force abilities in stories that take place before the sequel trilogy. So like if you watch them in chronological order, you go, no, they've established this before, right? But it is, I think, definitely for sure that I have placed something into it, and they do share a connection in so many different ways. And even like going back to the prequel days, right? Like they were brothers. They trained together. When Obi-Wan thought Anakin was dead, he was like, then he left him on Mustafar. Like that Obi-Wan Kenobi died then, and he became sort of like he becomes Ben Kenobi afterwards, right? Like in that spiritual sort of sense. So yeah, I think it just makes sense that now that they're aware of the existence of each other again, or at least Ben is, then that connection might be there. And as Ben opens himself up more to the Force, they're going to have that connection. And you see his connection to the Force getting stronger in this episode as it continues on.
Absolutely. Yeah, Matt Logic 44 in the chat. How's it going? Happy Friday. Dragon Eye 69. Leave my toys alone. Welcome back. He says, Obi-Wan Invader. Hello there. Is it me you're looking for? Perfect. So he's healing in the back to tank, and he wakes up out of it, and obviously he's wondering, like everyone else is where the hell is Leia? Is my mic doing this buzzing thing when I talk?
Yeah, I hear it.
God. I hate this thing. All right, let's go to the next one. Leia is captured, and it's already mirroring. There's a lot of parallels in previous scenes with her and how she would look as future Leia. And I think here's another scene, and she's being she's being detained by the Empire. I love. What did you think of the scene, Paul and Yoko? When she's like, "I'm princess of the Imperial Senate. You can't hold me like this." I thought she was fantastic.
I was muted. I tried to ask you if you were adjusting your sticker to fix your mic. That's what it looked like you were doing.
I have a button here. Wait, is this better?
Keep talking.
Bumblebee tuna.
You're kind of quiet though.
Turn up the gain.
Internet is hard. How's this? Here we go. Let's just do that. Okay, yes, but this scene.
I like it. I like Princess Sassy Pants. I appreciate her. Lucy, speaking of Sassy Pants.
Rick Jones says if she gets captured a third time, I call foul. I hear you. I hear you, man. Let's see where this goes, though. But it seems like it's almost a skill for her, a lifelong hobby. But they're over on Fortress Inquisitorius, And Reva, she's telling Leia she wants Kenobi. Kenobi is dead. No one's coming to rescue her.
Yeah.
And she's very sad.
Yeah,
And
I'm like, she believed her. I didn't think she would believe her, but she did.
She's got that force thing.
But unless Reva is she's got her mind, like, she's disciplined, right? Like, she doesn't want the other Inquisitors to be able to read her thoughts, so she's probably got her mind shielded. And if Leia is just slowly sort of coming into, like, discovering her force powers, she's not even aware of it. And I don't think the Inquisitors can be aware of her force sensitivity yet, just because then they would, like, totally snap her up or whatever, and they go, "Oh my God, she's force sensitive. Let's put her in that prison type thingy." But I think in terms of Reva, I think she's shielded, she's guarded, so she's always got that up, which is why I think Leia, who is very empathic and can usually sense what's going on, because she's not getting anything from Reva, she's probably just saying, like, okay, she must be telling the truth. And she's 10 and she's very mature, but I think at the same time, she's been, captured twice, and she's there in a scary room, and she just wants to go home, and I totally get that. So because she's so smart, and she seems so much more mature beyond her years, she's still a kid, and there's only so much that she can endure, type thing. So I bought, and that's a testament to her performance. I think I bought her performance in that. I thought she was great. I thought they were both great. I thought Moses Ingram in this, I could see the pain in her. Like, she's like, when she says, the more kids act brave, the scarier they are, type thing. And it's like, you could tell she's speaking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
And she's yelling, she's like, "You're forcing me to do this, don't!" And she doesn't want to do. You can feel that in her. And I thought that scene had all the beats in it, all the emotions. None of it seemed performancey or fake. They were there. I thought it was great. I loved it.
I love when Leia, when she changes, you can see in her face that she's changing her mind, her plan. Like, to be able to have that kind of emotion and range in the same scene, to be like really sad, thinking over, maybe I'll give them, and then all of a sudden she'll sit up and be like, "No, I don't know anything about this." I'm like, she's fantastic. That's all I got. She's great. Here she is, 10 years old, yelling at these stormtroopers. I love it. "I'm a princess. You can't hold me here." You can hear it, like, you could just in that face. This is a stormtrooper button. Hold on. There
Kevin,
we go.
Science folder stuff.
Wow.
No, wrong
Stormtrooper
folder.
You zoomed in on that.
Nobody take stormtrooperbutts.com. Everyone's trying to take all my squad on all my domains.
So we don't have Bobo feet this week, but we do have stormtrooper butts.
Yeah. Buttplatearmor.com.
TKbutts.com. Yeah, fantastic scene. I'm loving all the settings inside the fortress. I sent you guys some 3D models that people have already done already of the hallway from some of the scenes tonight. Fantastic. I'm gonna go print some stuff. But we are taken back to Jabim, where this is way far ahead. No, that's good.
Do we go back to them? Do we go back to this whole exchange, or is that it?
The
interrogation.
Yeah, it'll go back. It cuts
okay.
back and forth.
Okay.
Because now Kenobi is up. He's ready. Well, he looks ready. They're saying, you're in no condition to fight. They meet with Roken, who is played by O'Shea Jackson Jr., the son of Ice Cube. And he talks about, the Empire took his wife because she was force sensitive, and he wants Kenobi out of there because he's bringing too much heat onto their base here, and what they're doing could jeopardize the whole operation. He also calls him General, which at first it's a really small thing, but when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, he knows him." I don't know. Chat, did you
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he says General. Blah blah blah. So that's how Kenobi was addressed in the Clone Wars, like over 10 years ago. So I love that part. Seeing, IMDb showed he was going to be in the show, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Didn't know what role he was going to be in. I thought maybe because last week they mentioned Quinlan, maybe he would be Quinlan. But no, and that's cool. He's not quite a rebel. But did you notice he was like, "Get out of here. You're bringing too much heat." And then he's like, "You don't know what the Empire is capable of." And then he's like, "I do. My wife." So then all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, well, I'll help you then." Like he's like, "She's just
Wait,
10. I have to save her."
did you do that all so you could do your my wife impression?
No, I thought it was a really
Okay,
quick
okay.
change of heart for him.
I felt like that too, that he gave in really quickly.
It wasn't that he didn't want to help. First, he was saying, "Get out."
Yeah.
But then when he asked for help, and it's like, "You don't know what they're capable of. She's a 10-year-old." He's like, "I do. Okay." Oh, wait, that one was supposed to be Borat. He meant, "Okay, I'll help you." You see, I can't help it. It just happens. Oh,
It's
God.
That's a reminder of himself for himself, though. It's the whole, like, he's like, you're bringing down too much heat on this and blah, blah, blah. And then it's suddenly like, oh, yeah, I remember what they did to my wife. Because I'm sure that's not something he wants to dwell on every day. And so he buries himself in trying to help others. He's worried the cover is going to get blown. They're all in danger. And then he realizes, right, they will do horrible things. So I don't know. It's just, at the end of the day, it was just like, it was a minor quibble for me. It's just like, no, okay, you're right. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to reverse your position and kind of go, oh, yeah, right. They're really bad. Okay, I will help you then. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's like, isn't their whole outfit to help these people?
Yeah, to like smuggle them, but not to actively go and rescue them.
True.
And that's the difference too, right? Like they say, we're not soldiers. Like these T-47s, they're to haul sewage, not to do things. So
yeah, so I feel like he did kind of talked himself back into it, right? Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the reminder of, I know what they can do. My wife, right? All right.
That's not how he said it.
No, but that was the beat in my head, right? It was just like, oh yeah. So, I bought it. At the end of the day, it's just like, okay. They need the help.
That makes sense.
What did you think, Paul, when he called Kenobi General? It's a quick little.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it because that's called to. It's like, I know who you are. I know who you are and what you stood for and this and that. But it's just, and I think that as well might have been a reminder for him, because it's what they're doing is very dangerous, and the threat of being exposed is very real. And they've been fairly successful for it, but they've never really gone any further. It feels like, because it's a set system, they're very comfortable with what they're doing, lurking in the shadows. This is taking them out of the shadows and putting them at further risk. And I think, of course, they're going to be reluctant for it, but then it's the reminder of who this man is, General, what he stands for, what he stood for, and why they're doing it. And I think those are great reminders, because it has been 10 years and they have been helping Jedi escape and become anonymous. They haven't done anything to really sort of rebuild the Republic or restore the Jedi Order. They're just helping people vanish. And there's a certain point where you kind of go, well, do you live just to exist, or do you want to live and make a difference? And I think this is the beginnings of the rebellion. Like the rebellion is still very scattered. Obviously, it doesn't really come, but those fringe elements are coalescing amongst the people where they are not fully satisfied with the way things are going. And so, like, I like that. I love that layer building of what's going on, because when you're filling in the blanks of a very large universe in terms of that timeline, I think it can be incredibly complex, but it can also be incredibly rewarding to see the genesis of all these different ideas and watch people who have, ordinary people who accept the risk to help others because it's right. So
it
like
makes
Carson
me
David.
wonder, like Carson. It makes me wonder what he was doing during the Clone Wars, that he, still calls Kenobi General. Maybe he fought alongside him at some point. Be cool to find out more of that backstory. All right, so once they decide they're going to make a plan to rescue Leia, like Paul mentioned, Obi-Wan was like, "Oh, you have these old was it T-47s?
Yeah,
Or
the
whatever
speeders.
ships? Yeah, the speeders.
I love it because everybody calls them snow speeders.
Yeah.
But if you remember in Return of the Jedi, sorry, in Empire Strikes Back, they said we're having trouble adapting the speeders to the cold.
Yes.
So those are just the T-47 speeders. They're atmospheric speeders, and they were adapted on Hoth. So they're not really snow speeders. They're T-47 speeders. But that's good. But I love that because as soon as I heard her say, Sully talk about the T-47s, it's like, woo, speeders. And so I was really happy to see them sort of show up later on.
That was a great, well, actually, there, Paul.
It was an educational, well, actually.
Education.
Well, how they say it's for. Actually, you know what? I'll bring this up later. Yeah, I'm really good at conducting the show. So they have identified that the fortress is on Nur in the Mustafar system. I mean, we all know Mustafar is the final showdown place between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't even flinch. He was just like, okay, cool. Just no reaction. I guess it doesn't matter. I just thought there would be some sort of like PTSD or something. But they mention, no one would be stupid. Kenobi mentions like they don't have shields. They don't have anything. And they're like, well, they probably have like a training area that we don't even know how large the building is beneath the water. No one would be stupid enough to attack this building. For people in the chat who haven't played Jedi Fallen Order or don't know about it, including myself, because I haven't finished it, Yoko and Paul, can you please let everyone know who is stupid enough, who would be stupid enough, who has been stupid enough to do this exact same thing in the past? Who wants to go first?
I don't want to. I would never call him stupid, first of all.
I would. Sorry.
Yeah, you tell him. Tell him he's a big bully. Yeah.
He's a computer-generated character. You can't bully him.
No, you're a bully.
That's what I'm saying. I can't because he's not real. Cal Kestis isn't a real.
Real to me, damn it. I have his lightsaber. He's real.
All right. So in the game Jedi Fallen Order, the protagonist, the main character that you play, is Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis, Paul's best friend.
Jedi Knight. Sorry.
Takes place 5 years before Kenobi. He was a Padawan during the Order 66. I don't even know.
Got his master killed because he couldn't open up the escape pod door fast enough. It's a button that says open. Just press it. It's green. It opens. But he's like click, 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 click. And what happens? His master gets killed.
Right. But in the game, let's try to stick to how it pertains to this situation, not just your personal gripes with him, Paul, and your beef with the PS4 controller.
The only reason I do that is because I love seeing that expression. Because it bugs you so much. It's so not the case. It's so not the case. But I love saying that just to get that reaction out of Yoko, just like burning Ernie about Boba Fett getting knocked into the Sarlacc pit pipeline.
Paul just totally ruined that Order 66 cutscene in the game.
Oh, the game's been out for how many years now?
No. I mean, you emotionally damaged it.
Oh,
not as a spoiler. There's a difference between spoiling,
myself, Yoko.
Spoiling and completely ruining. Very different, Paul.
Sorry, Yoko. I didn't think of it that way.
Oh,
I guess it makes his master sacrifice that much worse now. All right, I'll be good.
All right, how does it pertain to this scene? This mission, please.
Well, there's tons of parallels because Cal has to swim underwater to gain entrance to Fortress Inquisitorius. And Obi-Wan does the same thing, same breathing device, which is awesome. So I love to see that continuity there. But I will say, Obi-Wan still needed extra help because Tala was up in the Imperial shuttle using her codes to override those locks to let him in. So it seems the Empire has made improvements to the security system because Obi-Wan needed outside help to get in. Right, the entrance point was the same, but he needed help to get there. Whereas Cal just swam up and was able to just
Wait,
swim.
he got in through the same way?
Cal
It
had
looked
BD1
like it.
though.
What's that?
Didn't Cal had BD1 helping him, or was BD not swimming with him?
BD was
can't
no
remember.
BD's with him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was because when I played and it was just recently, he just swam up into it and the door opened. He didn't have to.
Oh.
He didn't have to slice into it.
That was like 5 years before this game, though, right? So maybe they
Yes.
upped their security slightly.
Yeah, and
after
that's the point that I was making was the fact that Cal got in, did all that damage, so they had to do something. It's like maybe we should put a lock on this door.
that.
Right? I think it was literally that. It's like, oh, maybe I should just lock it. Click. Ooh.
We'll just lock it.
Yeah.
You know, and the Empire is good at fixing mistakes like that. You know, you have one Death Star blown up because nobody would take a small fighter jet and a small squadron to attack the Death Star. It gets blown up. We'll just build a bigger Death Star and do it again. So, you know, they like to try and work on their mistakes. So is that the most of the similarities? Was Cal breaking in for who is he rescuing?
He's trying to get the holocron back from the second sister.
Okay.
So the whole point of
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order
Yeah.
is they're looking for a holocron that has a list of all the children in the galaxy who are force sensitive. He gets his hands on it, and instead of doing the right thing, like destroying it right away, he starts like, oh, he has this existential crisis as to whether he should do it or not. And he gets knocked down, and the second sister steals a holocron. She goes back to Fortress Inquisitorius, which is why he's gone there to try to get it back from her. And so there's many similarities in terms of just you could tell they use a lot or they were influenced or got inspiration from the art direction and the production design from the video game because it's very, very similar.
Mhm.
The makeup of the hallways underwater, there are different scenes like we'll get to them with the glass breaking and whatnot. I haven't gotten to that part yet because I'm still getting my ass handed to me by the second sister. The interrogation chamber, it's very much the same, except in Fallen Order, there's a second sister with a double-bladed lightsaber who keeps kicking you in the face and like force stomping you and choking you or sucking the power out of your brain or just, you know, generally like being a badass. But
That's not the B word you wanted to use.
no, I was going to say badass.
Okay.
Cool. What was I going to say?
What's the other
Yeah,
B
because
word?
benevolent.
I was going to say, you know what? To be honest, I kind of have a crush on second sister. Like, kind of hot. So, like, when she kicks me in the face, she's like, "Oh, all right, let's go." And no, but it's
That's why you've been replaying it over and over.
that's why I keep losing. It's like, "Ooh, hit me again." No, she's just like, I'm heavy. I don't know. Maybe it's my controller, my timing, my big fat thumbs, or whatever. I just cannot seem to get her. Anyways, but it's very. You could swap the two, like the art, like the production design is right there. It's not like radically different. You could tell. It's like okay, it's the same place. It's the same place.
That's cool. And I think when Ewan McGregor and a lot of people doing interviews before the series came out, or when when it's first airing, they do mention the game and other parts of Star Wars being heavily either influenced or integrated into the series. So I think we can really see that here. All right, we've been on the screenshot for about like 37 minutes. Let's see what's next. We have Melissa K in the chat, my friend Carl. What's up, Carl? How's it going? Carl is he loves the show. Talks to me all the time about it. He's like, can't wait to tune in. So happy you're here. We have 1-6 shooter here. What's up, Trevor? Paul getting freaky for second sister. Yeesh. That's why you were on at midnight last night.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was.
All right. So Obi-Wan says, I'm going to go. I'm going to go by myself. Now, this is what I find important. He says, I will go myself because they're like, it's too dangerous. No one's dumb enough to do this. Kenobi says, I will go by myself. And Tala says, I will join you. I have my codes. It'll make it easier. Are your codes still valid? I don't know. We'll see. So they go. That's all we hear of the plan. Can we agree on that at this point of the episode? Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
Yes. All right. All right.
Well, that
Feels
reminded
like
me
a
of
setup.
well, it reminded me of the whole like who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like it's a throwback to New Hope, which is damn old fool. I knew you were gonna say that. And old Obi-Wan, he's like, wow, that's the line, right? So it's not the first time he's gone off to do something kind of foolhardily on his own.
Right.
I like that. I like those little echoes of who who he's becoming again, and even the way he's dressing too. He looks more like a Jedi. He doesn't have that blue sort of workman's shirt on anymore. He looks more Jedi. Like
he's not hiding it now.
No, I love it.
Modos 23 says it's an older code, but it checks out.
Right. That's perfect.
Shout outs Wingnut 323 for the follow over on Twitch. Thank you for being here. Yes, very nice usage of the quote there. So they're headed out. He's still practicing, still struggling to use the Force, but is he getting more confidence? Would you say? At least he's trying to.
Oh, this is when he's trying to move the thing.
Yeah. Trevor says, "Fortress, give me a break. They didn't notice two speeders entering their territory. Maybe install a Ring doorbell right at the very top of the fortress." But yes, fortress in the sense that it looks menacing. Back to the interrogation. See, Yoko, I told you we'd bring it back.
Thank you.
Now we know, in the trailer and in the last episode when Reva sees this Jedi, the Jedi Order symbol on the wall, it's not just a callback to possibly her past, but also she reveals that they found two safe houses with similar symbols. So, she's also recognizing that. I thought she would cut it out with a lightsaber or something instead of just like chopping it with her. I don't know. It seems like if I had a lightsaber, I would use it for everything. So opening mail, cutting cucumbers for the kids.
It's only for cutting hands off. All right.
Yeah.
That's all it's used for, is cutting hands off.
Sorry, Tatooine Karen, to bring up that memory for you. Very tragic. So, but she seems to think that Leia has information on this system of where they save Force sensitives and Jedi, called the Path. She seems very, I don't know, like she just found out Leia was just captured and arrived to this thing. I don't know how much she thinks Leia would have learned in that time, or why they would divulge like a huge network or all this information to a 10-year-old, or maybe she's just looking for another destination or another base. And we know anyone else watching this, when they're like, where, give me more information, were you waiting for her to drop a fake planet decoy name? Like Dantooine. They're on Dantooine.
Yes.
But no. And I'm glad they didn't, but I'm sure a lot of people were thinking that. And that's what the cool part is. It's like, yeah, we're not going to give you exactly the same stuff. You're going to expect it, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. But she's still trying to break Leia in a sense, and she's trying to convince her. She's like, Obi-Wan's dead. The people I'm looking for left him there to die. That's that whole. She's twisting everything around. Remember, like, she's trying to convince the people on Tatooine, these people, the Jedi abandoned you. But like none of this stuff, you're just twisting it around. But it's just another great interrogation scene. Is this where she tries to attack her with? No, not yet. I have that later. Okay, so this is the ship that they arrive on. Tala arrives. She's back in her Imperial uniform, and she's just marching through the fortress, as Trevor says. And the usual, that movie trope is like, you're undercover, and people are trying to figure you out, and they're trying to this scene with the dude where she's just trying to be more mean to him when he's almost figured her out. Okay.
Well,
Okay, see?
here's the thing. I don't think he almost figures her out. He's suspicious of why she's there, right? And we talked about that whole that airport security thing, and we're like, well, why is it there for? And it's like they answer the question here. It's to screen non-inquisitors from going through, because obviously it's a very sensitive area. And the thing is, so this is the lovely thing. He's not suspicious of her as being a spy. He's like, you're not allowed through there. Why are you trying to go through? You don't have your clearances for something else. And she just basically pulls rank on him, which is what I love. And she uses what is a common tactic, I think, in the Imperial Navy, which is intimidation and saying, you know what, you're keeping me from doing my job. Let's call you up on, let's rat you out to the superiors. And that's the thing. And so he's lower ranking than she is. So he acquiesces and lets her go through because she knows precisely which buttons to press to get her way. So and that's the thing. And I think this is something that I cosplay as an Imperial officer, and it's something that I would totally believe in and kind of go, yeah, it's like, this is what they do. That's how they intimidate each other too. It's not just a ranking system. So
do you do that when you're out trooping?
All the time.
One time at the Mississauga Con, the 501st were there, and someone was dressed as Vader, and I took a picture with them. And
Right.
I think I might have I don't know why, I either touched Vader in some way, and one of the officers was like, "Please don't touch Lord Vader." I'm like, whoa, chill. It's not the real Darth Vader. But that really stuck out
Why
to me.
are
She was
you
really-
touching Darth Vader?
I don't know. Maybe I was trying to put my arm around him like we were...
Where were you touching Darth Vader? I think it's the big question.
Butts.com.
You're touching his butt?
Oh, speaking of the Mississauga Con, I sent you both, well, our group chat, the link. The next one in Mississauga, for people who aren't in the GTA, Mississauga is, a town here in Ontario. They have a lot of conventions at this hotel, but the actor who played Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi is going to be there. And I asked Ernie, is this the actor who would have fallen into the Sarlacc pit for filming that? And Ernie said yes. So I'm going to go and meet him at the end of this month and shake his hand, take a photo. Maybe I'll bring a cutout of Yoko's thumb going like this and put it on the side of my photo and send it to Ernie.
No, it's got to be a thumbs up because he fell in. He's the guy that fell in. Hey, Ernie, look.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. It'll be funny just to get a photo with him and be like, "Do you know the fallen Fett?" Like, get out of my face. All right, so Kenobi's swimming in. I like that they brought back the breather device. He and Qui-Gon used it on Naboo. I thought this creature was definitely going to attack him because they had him right here, kind of right in your face, but around the corner from Kenobi. And then Kenobi swims up here. I thought it was going to attack him. And then there'd be a lightsaber fight. But no, would have been cool. Nasty creature. He swims up, takes out the one guard that's there. This is, did they even put a lock? Or did they put this door, Paul?
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because in the game, there are two scout troopers with the big sticks and two stormtroopers. So they had four dudes there when Cal went through. But here it's just like, oh, we got to lock on the door. So we just put one guy there with his back to the door. Right? So,
right.
Yeah.
And, he took off. He took out this stormtrooper, brings him in. And for me, in my head, I'm like, all right, here we go. He's going to use his armor, make his way through the base. And of course, as a toy collector, I'm like, we're going to get a Kenobi in Stormtrooper figure, right? That's coming. But he doesn't. He's like, you know what? I'm finally embracing, I'm a Jedi again. I got these clothes that look more Jedi-like. If you got it, flaunt it. I'm just going to walk around in these clothes. And I was on Reddit and someone asked, why didn't he take the armor? And someone replied, because he has something more powerful. He has plot armor. So that's better than the Stormtrooper armor that you can wear. So that was, it's true. Why would you go espionage and just be out in the open? But he does have Tala helping him. She is, yeah, there you go. You see the stormtroopers. He just left him floating in that water access part there. But yeah, so this is the part where I love this. She's so good. They're doing Reva's trying to read her thoughts, and she's like, "Are we having a staring contest?" I don't know. I'm sure there are people who are like, "Oh, this is so bad for Star Wars," but I don't know. I thought it was cool as a little kid character. It was pretty.
No, because
she's
it's
trying to
it's
catch
showing her
attention.
sassy roots, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But you
Yeah.
know, like there's a lot of I'm sure somebody out there is upset. I've heard it. But I don't know what she's trying to do here. She's trying to attack Reva with Lola.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess you need it for this part of the story. Yeah, see, Thomas D is down. He says it was cute. No better way to cut the tension. 100 pounds of sass in a 60-pound bag. All right, so Tala is working out of, I don't know, like the library or something. It reminds me of she's just sitting there working at the computer. She's using the old comms like 3PO and Luke did in A New Hope. Even kind of leaves it there on the counter.
Yeah.
Like 3PO did.
This was the only part that kind of, I was a bit like, because you were pretty loud. No one was saying anything. It's super quiet. And they're talking to each other. And that dude actually even looks over
He looks at her.
Like, who are you talking to? And it just like, that's really, really struck me. Right. So.
Yeah, because they heard her. She's like you're sitting there in the library on speakerphone. Like,
yeah.
Espionage.
Kev, I know it's a shunned topic, but libraries usually have books in them.
You can work in it's because the setting is so quiet. That's why it reminds me of a library. We can talk about libraries.
Like
libraries
a
are
computer
cool.
lab? Is that what you're going for?
Well, Jedi Vault.
Yes. Audiobooks and I don't know, digital books.
Audiobook library. Okay.
Suck it, shun topics. Yeah, she's helping him out because there are these seeker droids, and I love they showed the map on the layout with all the dots. Obi-Wan's playing Pac-Man on the screen, and she's like, "You got to go left, you got to go right," and yeah, she has to quietly kill an officer in the back.
That's right.
And then return. Like, I don't know. This part was also crazy because you see right here the stormtroopers are walking in. He's fully in view when he kind of jumps up into this part of the window. Is Paul, as someone, have you cosplayed as a stormtrooper? But I'm sure you've worn enough stormtrooper helmets
it's hard to look. It's hard to see out of them.
Mm-hmm.
In real life. Now, in universe, they're supposed to have this very intricate system where they have targeting scanners on, reticles, and they've got breathing apparatus they can breathe. That's how in Book of Boba Fett, that's how he survived. He pulls out the oxygen thing from the stormtroopers caught in the Sarlacc. So it's it's supposed to be a very involved helmet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Maybe Obi-Wan to use the Force in order to sort of to be more stealthy, to distract them and stuff, because he uses that later on as well, right?
Yeah,
that old trick.
I love
where
that one.
He distracts them, yeah, and it's like flashbacks to A New Hope, but
it's a very intricate and a helmet that has a lot of features. The only downside is if you just give it a small slap across the face, the stormtrooper becomes totally useless, and we'll see that.
She's stunned him.
Demonstrated later on.
It's a smack to the. Even if you're wearing a helmet, sometimes it's enough to distract. If you get hit hard enough, it'll jar you back. So
it's possible. I don't think it came across that way for me as the viewer. I don't know if anyone saw it that way. We'll get to that part. Kenobi gets to this restricted area, and I don't know. This part was bone chilling for me. Chat, Yoko, Paul, what did you think of this? Just walk down the the tomb here.
Well, I
Is
was,
this the
all
tomb
like,
part?
"Who is that? Who's that?
Yeah.
Who is that? That person is familiar. Oh shit, I need to look this up. Like, who are all these characters?"
Mhm.
And I think they were some much smarter people than I have been able to ascertain who some of the characters were.
That's what I was laughing at.
Shut up, Tony.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, and that first character that he saw I can't remember the character's name. It starts with a T. But he was the one that helped Ahsoka in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Lightsaber back.
He
Right?
was the one where I was like, okay, I recall him, but I can't place him.
Master
right?
Sinube?
Yeah,
Terra
but
Master
Sinube.
Sinube?
he has the lightsaber cane. That's the
Yeah.
That's
thing.
scary.
Yeah.
Right?
Lightsaber
And,
pimp cane is pretty smart.
Yeah.
lightsaber pimp. Jeez.
Yeah. As this is going on, they're loading Leia up. Reva's had enough of her. She's like, you know what? If you're not gonna, here's your last chance. If you're not gonna help me out, was she putting her in amber like all these other Jedi? Because she alludes to, like, people before haven't been cooperative.
Oh, is that what she's getting her ready for?
I thought so. Because
I got the sense that she was gonna like what
cut her up.
No, shock her like what Vader did to Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back, because she still wants that information from her, and so she's saying, "This is gonna fucking hurt. Don't make me do it, because I know it hurts, because it was done to her." And in Fallen Order, they actually have a flashback to how the second sister, when she was a Padawan, they used, and it was the same rig that they used on Han Solo. And so I got the sense of that. It was like, okay, that's just on little kid setting though, because she's much smaller. So they just have the two pictures that are coming in.
They give her a booster seat.
Well, you look at it, it's like they have manacles that are big enough for little people. It's like there's a great meme that's out there, like when it was from Mandalorian, and it was just like the stormtroopers going, we have manacles that are small enough to hold children, because they put them on Grogu. Yeah, and the stormtrooper goes, Are we the bad guys? It's like that moment where it's like, oh my God, we have restraints that are built for children. It's like, we are the bad guys type thing.
Yeah, I saw there were like some things spinning from that torture machine going towards her. But, the fact that it was kind of cut into the same part of the hallway, building the suspense of as Obi-Wan realizes what he's walking through, and we're seeing her being hooked up to this thing. I'm like, maybe it's one of their amber loading freezing machines, but it didn't seem like it. Just the thought that had crossed my mind. But I think Bad Wolf said it makes noises that are similar to interrogation droid sounds. So you have a great ear then, because I don't recognize a lot of these droid sounds, but super fans do. But yes, this is the Hall of Horrors. A lot of amber here. A lot of people mentioning Dr. Wu from Jurassic Park. And I guess
I didn't notice the upstairs. I only watched this episode once. Yeah.
On your phone?
Not on my phone, but at midnight 30.
Midnight 30. Yeah. So, is it like, we know Snoke is a clone and the Emperor is being cloned in the future. All of this stuff is kind of being written so that it kind of negates the line of somehow Palpatine returned. Like, okay, now that was a really poor. We're gonna put the backstory for all that stuff. They're cloning Jedi and midichlorians, and I guess if you do cloning, this Jurassic Park set the standard of freezing in amber. It's not confirmed, but that's what it looks like, right? I'm sure there are the parallels when people see that. There's Master Sinube that we mentioned, the one that helped Ahsoka in that episode. The rest of the people aren't really recognizable.
No,
I don't know if the chat knew,
because I think he was the most recognizable, and he was still even hard to place. Like, and I kind of agree with Professor Lapidus here, where maybe if there was someone that we recognized a little more, like even if we saw what's her name, Luminara, right? Is she the one that we see in Rebels later?
Yeah.
Like if we even if we saw her or somebody a little bit more familiar, I think maybe it would have hit a little harder faster. But I mean, but then when you get to the youngling, I feel like that kind of
That looks like
gets
so
you there, though.
that slide right there looks like the George Lucas character, because George Lucas was in one of the prequel trilogies, and
Right.
it looked like it was very reminiscent. I don't think it is, but that's what I thought at first. It's like, oh, that's a nice little Easter egg. They got the George Lucas character in there. I didn't think he was force sensitive.
I thought it was something to do with like I know the Night Sisters are sisters, but I thought it had something to do with those people on Dathomir and all these magical force beings. That's why they're there. I don't know, but you spent a lot of time on Dathomir, right, Paul?
Yes.
Does this look familiar? Or like maybe their stylings?
No, it's just dudes like heavily ripped dudes with horns on their heads kicking me in the face. And
Heavily ripped
shooting
dudes.
arrows at me, and like fucking the whole game is just everybody tries to kill Cal. So,
Oh, I saw that part of you trying to fight the former Jedi, and then every time you died, you'd come back, and you wouldn't even fight the
oh my god, yeah.
fight those
Oh,
two
that
guys. You would just
that
book it
homeless
between them.
guy.
I hated that because like the spawn point was so far away, and they put 3 of the Knight brothers in the way. One guy with an arrow shooting at you,
Yeah.
and then 2 of those dudes. So it was like I didn't want to waste time fighting them, so I have to just run past him. And yeah, anyways, it's a whole other thing. I don't want to talk about it, Kevin.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Solo was in carbonite and was just frozen, so maybe this is a similar process. Yeah, I thought maybe like they could have used carbonite. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Well, it would have been cool. This anyone recognizable? Yeah, Trevor says, are they setting up some other mystery to be disclosed in the next 2 episodes? What the hell are these? How does it advance the story? Yeah, I would love to hear and see more about this. Are they just trophies, like Tommy K says?
No, I
They
think
could be.
I think it does advance. I keep going back to the Luminara storyline in Rebels and how I don't think they're alive, but I think they're preserving their bodies for, I don't know if they're farming midichlorians or something, or something to do with the clone Emperor's clone research. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're alive, but I think they're trying to keep their bodies alive to use for their experiments.
They're kind of in stasis then, like the remains are in stasis so they don't
Yeah.
deteriorate.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Luminara and Dooley,
Yeah.
right? Like they were
Yeah,
using
yeah.
her bones, but they were also using her to attract any Jedi
Right.
to entrap them, basically.
Right.
And so that's how
So that's
that
what I
was the
think.
storyline in
Yeah.
Rebels, right?
I think they're setting that up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she, when she was in that cell in Rebels, was it also yellowish? Does anyone recall?
It was a tube. It was like
Yeah.
this you could only see the cutout of her face. And
Right.
so when her force spirit or ghost went into it and changed to a gray color, it wasn't an amber, it was more of a gray color, but it was also because it was her bones. They had been preserving her
Right.
bones, not her flesh and stuff. So I don't know, this might be something different. Might be something the same, but yeah.
Yeah. I think for trophies, in their boardroom, they have all the lightsabers there as trophies.
That's
anyway.
their trophies. That's their
trophies.
This is their science folder.
Yeah. And there's a reason
It's
why
not my
this is
science folder.
it's in the lower levels.
Mhm.
It's hidden away. It's someplace deep and heavily guarded within the fortress, right? Trophies are meant to be displayed and out in public. This is something far more sinister, I believe.
Yeah.
And this next slide totally proves that. Far more sinister. Wait, not her. Never mind. Oh wait, not her either. This one. But yeah, these ones they get
guess-
pretty close up.
I thought when I saw that first one, I thought it was that woman, the mom of that kid that Haja was smuggling out. That's what I thought. I don't think it is, but that was my first like, oh my god, they caught the mom and the kid. Right? Because they were force sensitive, or her son was force sensitive and they're trying to get out. So maybe she was force sensitive. Anyways, they caught them. That's what I thought. I don't think it is them, but that was my first sort of reaction. Was like, oh my god.
One of these could be O'Shea or Roken's wife, maybe. Darth Gutierrez mentioned a theory earlier that maybe Reva was Roken's wife. That would be an interesting plot twist.
That would
But
have
then
mean
again,
that would she would have been captured at a later point, not as a
Yeah.
child,
Yeah.
oh, that's true because she
right?
did say she
So
was
it's like,
taken.
unless O'Shea Jackson's character kind of rolls that way. Child bride, yeah,
Oh
and
my
then they
gosh.
took her.
All right, let's
Right.
not.
I don't know, different culture.
This looks like somebody. It looks very familiar, but I don't
She
know.
I
don't
thought
know
she
if
was
it's-
what's her name from Fallen Order, but
Seer?
it's
No,
not.
Seer.
Yeah.
I thought it was Seer.
Mm.
The eyes look
No.
like her, but I don't think it is.
I was just trying to make out what's on the necklace, like that medallion there. I was trying to see what that is. Ooh, very
I'm
good.
enhancing.
Good for you. Can you clean that picture up a little?
But you guys, I bet it makes sense later, you know?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
This poor little guy.
Yeah.
He looks like he got caught like in mid stride, like he was running.
Like he was trying to run. Yeah, he was trying to run,
Yeah.
and they're like Amber, and they caught him.
and they left his hat on.
Well, he's stuck in there. They're not gonna de-amber him to take it off.
No. What I'm saying is he still had his hat on when they did it. So
Was he caught in the temple and they brought him here, or he was on the run and he forgot to take his helmet off? He was probably caught there.
yeah, running to the bathroom. That's a good idea.
Right?
Oh, is this a stealth P situation?
Is this the stealth P? Yeah. Should we take him off?
Mute his mic.
Stealth P.
I
Yeah,
think
I'll
you
mute
can-
him in case he goes full stream. Yeah, it seems like if they were in the Jedi Temple, the stormtroopers or the clone troopers were just kill, kill, kill. There was no capture kind of order. So I don't know what was that. If that kid was still wearing his Padawan helmet when he was on the run, like he deserved to be caught. That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, I just heard you say he deserves to be caught.
Yeah, if he was still wearing the helmet and he was
For
on the land
protection.
and in hiding,
You guys are always yelling about Omega needing a hat.
only
So he
Paul,
kept
but
his-
get a different helmet. If he's a Jedi Padawan learner who's on the run from the Empire, they're persecuting and hunting him because he's a Jedi, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna wear my Jedi helmet. Then, like, if they save him, he's not the one to bring the Jedi Order back. Like, he deserves to be caught. Hot take.
That's just as bad as the Cal Kestis' master deserved to die story.
I didn't say he deserved to die. I said he died because Cal Kestis couldn't open the door properly.
That is accurate. That is
All he had to do
that
was
is
press the open door button, and then, but he couldn't. He was like, "Oh, close."
Ah,
Oh, no,
circle,
no, no.
triangle, square.
Yeah,
Cow.
he's like, "Oh, fine, I'll protect you." It's like, and then that was it. If he'd been able to open the door when he said, "Open the door," they would have been in and escaped together. But
Yeah, Modos says that's the same about Obi-Wan and the robes. And that's the main thing that bothers me. It's like you're on the run, A New Hope, he's wearing these clothes. He's a Jedi. Sorry, he's a hermit, former Jedi. And then they go and do the prequels and like, guess what? All the Jedi were dressed like this as opposed to those being regular clothes. So there's no explaining for that one. That's just a poor choice in the prequels. All right, but Kenobi's like, hey, I need a distraction, and Tala, who has been on her speakerphone the whole time, also choked out an officer, still hasn't caught the attention of anyone. She's like, you know what? What do I gotta do to get noticed around here? Let me go and tell Reva. And she did it just in the nick of time because they were about to put those spinny blades onto Leia, and she reveals that, I found out where the where the path and these operatives are. She gives them a very detailed description, and Rev was like, how could you know this? Either you're lying or you're with them, right? And she's like, I like that she revealed it when she kind of got caught. She said, well, yeah, I'm with them. I'm a spy. I'm a double spy. It's my only way to get this information, and they would have killed me. And I thought that was more intriguing and more intense of an interrogation than her walking through in the beginning when they first landed. This scene is this scene in the Fallen Order game, Paul? This room?
no, this was, and I haven't played it, but I've seen people talk about they've seen the similarities between that and Force Unleashed. So I
Right.
think Sam Witwer, he tweeted about it saying, "Oh, okay, so now Kenobi steals my moves," type thing, because apparently in the game, that's how his character. It's the exact same way. The blue lightsaber sparks up, one trooper down goes out, the other trooper goes down. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for using lightsabers dismembering people. I mean, if we saw last episode, that gate, that super obstructive gate, cut a stormtrooper in half. I don't know why Obi-Wan takes like 2 to 3 slashes here. He could just be. I was telling Professor Lapidus the other day, just slice them in half or just skewer them, right? And they go down. He's doing like 2 to 3 hacks. They're very superficial, and it takes a few hits to take a stormtrooper down. I mean, you have the advantage. You should be able to take them out. But it's super cool when the lightsaber ignites and you see him for a flash just attack them, right?
well,
I don't know why.
I think that it just sort of speaks to the strength of the armor, right? It's the slashes. It takes, like, if you're gonna you can thrust through, but it takes effort, right? Whereas, and it's not as fast. And if you're sticking something through something, it takes more time, and it gives the other person an opportunity to sort of train his weapon on you. So that's why I think he goes for the slashing strikes, and it's a quicker attack, but it still incapacitates them. I think it looks cooler too, right? It's just one of those things where, in the prequels, when you can open a blast door with it, but it takes effort. So he like sticks it through the door, and he's slowly having to go through, right? Like, I think the kyber crystals give off a lot of power, but I mean, if anything from Fallen Order has taught me, lightsabers don't cut through everything. They bounce off a lot of things. So
I would love for a game to do that, just slice through everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this, he should have just slashed right through his body. Sparks are flying. It's a great looking shot, like visually, but you can see it's just like a little surface. 'Tis but a scratch.
He hasn't used his lightsaber in a decade, Kevin. Give him a break.
What do you mean? He just defended himself against Vader.
You forget how to play a game when you haven't played it in a week. He hasn't used it in 10 years.
And they're still dead, Kevin. I don't know what you're complaining about.
No, my thing is like lightsabers.
You cut their heads off and like.
I know. Why are you being such a hater today? What's up with that? Are you okay? Are you okay?
They're still dead, Kevin.
I like the story. There are some things that, even though they don't affect the final, how we get there, it's a very noticeable.
They're dead, Kevin.
They are dead.
I just want to point out, in Mandalorian season 2, with the appearance of Ahsoka Tano at the beginning of that episode, with all those dudes, they didn't have armor, and she wasn't cutting them all. Like, it was, again, slashes enough to kill them. You don't need to cut people in half. And yes, they did that to the one stormtrooper who fell through, but I think there's a quota to how many of those kind of kills you can show, right? This is a Disney Plus series. True. It is Star Wars. And yeah, people get their hands cut off and stuff like that. But I think you can't keep doing that, right? It's like Game of Thrones. You can have nudity, but not all the way. There's got to be a statute of limitations to how much nudity or how many sex scenes or how many really bloody. Right. There has to be a limit before censors step in and go, that's too much. You need to back off. I get their laser swords, but not everybody has to be cut in half, right?
I need that censor to speak to me. Like, Kevin, just calm down.
They're still dead, Kevin.
They're lasers. Yeah. You can be the censor. No censors on your stream. There's no F-bombs. No caps for F-bombs on your live streams.
I love it because everybody's like, they're basically chirping back what I yell into my control. Block, damn it. Come on. It's just like so infuriating.
Here's the slappy slap to so they finally capture her, they detain her, and they're walking Tala away, and Tala turns to the stormtrooper and she's like, hey, TK, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? And he's like, what? She just slaps him and turns around. I like when she grabs this guy's bucket from the bottom and just completely pulls him towards her. I thought that was a cool move. And then she takes them both out with one of their blasters. And then we get to the hallway scene. I don't know. it's cool to see him deflecting the blaster shots. There was one where he did like a turn around and he hit it behind him and hit the stormtrooper behind him. That was awesome. I know, Paul, you enjoy. Sorry, I keep bringing up Fallen Order, but you enjoy when the stormtroopers shoot you first, so
I
you
do.
can kind of block.
I love
back.
that. Yeah, the blaster deflect, and you need to time it perfectly. But again, this is the progression of Obi-Wan, of Ben going back to Obi-Wan, right? The
Mhm.
muscle memory. I mean, yes, he hasn't done it in 10 years, but the muscle memory of him being trained from a youngling all the way up hasn't fully left. He's rusty, but it's still there. And you see the vestiges. This is what I love. Yeah, Ben gets his mojo
How
back.
Ben gets his mojo back.
That's it. It's like how Stella got her groove back, how Ben gets his mojo back. And he's there. And it's like, and you see it from the little, he does this little flourish, you know, the little saber twirl after he does that. And it's like, oh, he's coming back. Here's the guy, right? And he's directing.
What the hell is this?
He's getting stronger.
Because the more he does it, the more he's reconnecting with the Force, and it's all coming back, right?
And it's beautiful to see. Like I got excited about that because it's just like, yeah, he's rebuilding. So it's really nice.
I like when he says to her, "Hide," and she's like, "Where? Look at me, I'm out in the open here." But Reva's coming as backup because now that the alarm has sounded, she's gonna join in, and she's joined by this purge trooper here, who are their sole purpose is to hunt Jedi with the Inquisitors. So, and that's another callback to Fallen Order and the Inquisitors as well.
Yeah.
I love these hallways. Yeah, somebody asked me if I'm going to 3D print this hallway. Absolutely. I think I'm going to join. I forget what that designer's name is, but his Patreon, and there's a model that you can download for this hallway, and I'm going to print that. This is so cool. I don't have any Inquisitors though. Damn it. Wait, what can I can put Cal in there? Let's put Cal in there. Yoko, you did an inhale like you're about to
No, I
drop
was
some
laughing
bars.
at your
You're
little,
laughing.
yeah, at your little inner
My soliloquy?
monologue there. Yeah.
This part I noticed, I'm like, hey, how come there's two stormtroopers and this jacket guy officer? And it didn't click to me right away. I'm like, that's strange. You don't see that guy get into a fight often. But we find out later on it's for Scooby-Doo purposes. They get into a long battle here. The glass starts to break, and it's a good thing he's been practicing his Force skills, I guess, because this room of stormtroopers comes in, and it was cool. He almost seemed like he redirected it at them while all those other windows shattered, thereby letting him escape. Oh, that's a funny picture. I like in the next shot, he's when they're walking away, the doors have glass, and the stormtroopers are just floating there right up against. Trevor has a problem. He says, "There's no water in that room at all. Kenobi is the Flash." He does have speed run. Remember episode 1?
Force speed. Yep.
Getting out of the gas room with Qui-Gon. They don't use that again until now. But yeah, so the reason jacket officer was there, they grab his jacket. They're like, you know what? Maybe we should use disguise now. So they have, and this is the thing. I'm like, Leia in his jacket, or someone said it was like Little Rascals. It's like 3 people inside, 3 kids inside the jacket. But they're walking. I mean, if that's not a dead giveaway, like Imperial officers, they're not bearded. And I mean, I think most military is like clean shaven, short hair kind of deal. He's just, he's Space Jesus. Just walking through, and nobody really notices.
This kind of you know what? It is ridiculous at first glance. You kind of go, come on. But the sense that I get from it, and I don't want to be an apologist or this or that, but it made sense to me just because the base is under lockdown. They don't say, look, be on the lookout for 2 officers and a child or this or that. So everybody's got their head down. They're going to what their job is during a lockdown. And so they're rushing. They're not looking for anything. The base is under lockdown. So they're all singularly minded. And I think that's part of the Empire is you don't question orders, you just follow them. And the fact that they walk by the Inquisitors, I loved because like they're so mad at Reva that's all the fifth sister wants, the fifth brother wants to do is just shit all over her.
Yeah.
And she's gonna pay, and like they're all so singularly focused, they miss what's going on right in front of their very noses. And so I bought it. I bought that. The fact that this is so ridiculous that if anybody just thought, what is that? They would have, but they don't see that. All they see are uniforms, and all they see is, this is my job. I need to do this job right now. And so we'll go.
I 100% agree. Like, obviously, we as the viewer with a camera trained on his crotch area can see that there is another human being there. But that is not the reality for everybody else in that room.
You mean the other stormtroopers aren't locked on his crotch area?
Right. But I think it's played well because it could be like it just kind of straddles that line of not slapstick, but like they stop right where it gets too silly. I think where they could have really played this moment up for laughs, but they don't. Right? It's just like it's just a means to get through the crowd. And it made me think of a conversation we had. It was a while ago, and I think we were talking about one of the Marvel shows. And Paul, you were saying how sometimes they step on there's like an emotional moment, and then they step on humor too quickly instead of letting that moment live. And I kind of made me think of that with this moment where they could have played it into the humor angle, but they just they stopped just short of it. I think, which I think
should have had a
call. Yeah.
I'm like, have her grab onto his chest and then pull the jacket over, like baby wear. And then make it look like he has a large stomach. But yeah, weird choice. Ultimately, they got to get out somehow. It's like this. But yeah, I can see this guy's so angry. He doesn't even notice that they walk right by him. Like you said, this guy's just he hasn't fought the fifth brother. He hasn't really done much. Just he's the other sibling that's trying to get Reva in trouble all the time. You even see later on, I have a screenshot of it. He's smirking. He's smirking when Vader's choking her out. To me, so I mentioned earlier, Katz, do you have something to say about the costume?
She says people are taking this way too seriously and should just enjoy the ride. Yeah.
New Ernie, you have a point? Yeah. Okay. So I mentioned earlier when they're making the plan, Kenobi's plan was we got to break in, and Wade and the other lady was like, "That's crazy." So he's like, "I'll go by myself." Tala says, "I'll go with you." To me, that was the plan. They take the shuttle in. They're gonna go back on the shuttle. Someone's gonna go into the Leia torture device. No, I thought their plan was going to go back to their shuttle and take that shuttle, right? Chat, was that what you thought their plan was at this point? Yoko and Paul, is that what you thought their plan was? Like, they're trying to get to their ship, right?
Yeah, they're getting to the same ship that Tala used to fly in because it's still there.
It's still there.
Like, where else would they be going at this point, right? Like, I think and they're crossing there, and it's over to they're walking out in that direction to it. Yeah. And then Reva comes out and she's like, traitor and the old man and child. Like, what are you doing? We got you. Type thing.
Yeah, it seemed to me like they were walking to the edge, like they knew the speeders, not snow speeders, regular speeders were coming, which didn't seem like part of the plan. That's just me. That's one of the things that I'm just like, whoa, are they going to the ship? They knew this rescue was coming. But I like that part. She's like, I'm not a traitor. Like,
yeah, you forgot who you are.
This is me. Yeah. I like that part by Tala. I think she's a pretty great character so far. This is an awesome scene. I think it was in one of the trailers too. There's two Purge troopers there behind her. They look dope. Do they have Black Series Purge troopers, Paul? They should, right?
I think they're like there's a gaming. Is it the gaming?
I feel like they made him in the gaming line.
Yeah,
gaming greats.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Same
gaming
with
grades are just
the scout troopers with the electro batons and the
yeah.
shields.
Those are usually just variations that they change up some weapons, I think. So there might have been. I missed those. But here we go. Last minute to the rescue. The speeders come in. They fly in undetected. They get in and blow everything up. This Mouser droid gets owned. Yes, I did. I did
I
get that
felt bad.
screenshot just for this.
I felt bad. I felt bad for the mouse droid.
Of course. That's why it's there. So yeah, so even now here, they're not making their way. Doesn't seem like they're making their way to a ship because they're right there at the edge. Of course, they land, and you can fit 2 adults and a child. And when they were on Hoth, the modified ones were really tight in there, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the back, it's extended out.
Like here?
zoom in more, because
What?
that's just the panel. That's just the flap on the. But look at the extended back, because the T-47 in Empire Strikes Back, there was a grappling hook gun that was there. So if they've removed the grappling gun and they've extended the canopy, that's room for 2 people. And
Okay, cool.
You could put a child on your lap. And
Perfect.
we also modified how the canopy opens, because in Empire Strikes Back, it was one piece that sort of went up and you had to crawl in. This one, it flips open to the side, a lot like an older propeller airplane would, like a trainer, where you just crawl in that way and it would close this way instead of that way.
Awesome. This is the station wagon of
Kind of. It's
T-47s.
just the extended cab version with the bucket seats.
Do you remember when you can sit in the back of station wagons before, facing backwards?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
So
when you didn't have to
dangerous.
you didn't have helmets when you were riding bikes. Nobody wore seatbelts. They had leaded gasoline. You could go play, as long as you're home by the time it got dark or by dinner, that's it.
Kids were tougher back then. Yeah. So they fly off. One of them flies off. Wade stays behind to shoot at Reva for a little bit. Is this all I got? Why is this not moving? And fifth brother, I feel like they could have just helicoptered with their lightsaber and gone up there. But you know what? We know why they didn't do that, even though she throws a battery at one of them. I thought it was really cool. She's fighting off this one ship by herself there. And this is where they throw the battery. Vader's pissed. I was replaying this scene at like half speed, and he was still walking really fast. So I'm like, damn, was he walking that quickly in full speed? He's pissed. And he said, I warned you, don't fail me. You fail me, you die. And he, being a total badass, there's the fifth brother smirking. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be Grand Inquisitor now. She's like, wait, I did a tracker on them. How do you feel about this tracker? People are like, well, were they expecting her to escape? Is it just a contingency plan? How do you feel about this whole kind of like what they did before with the Millennium Falcon?
I got a sense it was a contingency plan. I don't think she expected them to escape, because she didn't know Obi-Wan was going to come and show up and rescue her. Who would be foolhardy enough to do that, right? I think it was a contingency thing. It's it is a weird one, but I get the sense that she was just doing that to save her ass, and she's lucky that she put it in there for whatever reason. But I mean, it also speaks to the fact that she expected her to escape then, because if she was about to torture her and then stick her in amber, why would she stick a tracking device in her droid and give it to her? Right? Strange,
right?
So there is that. Now that
the droid thing was a weird point for me, because didn't you think when she took the droid from her that she would have like crushed it or destroyed it, and instead she gave it back to her? So to me that was weird, and that at that moment I thought maybe she did something to it. But the other thing is, Reva's goal is to get Obi-Wan, right? But like Leia ultimately is they're trying to send Leia back to Alderaan. So it's like, even if they have the tracking device in Lola, that doesn't necessarily lead them back to Obi-Wan.
Well, she says where he goes, the tracker goes, or she goes, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So she's trying to say like wherever if you want Kenobi, our target is Kenobi. This tracker is definitely going to be next to him. But we know his goal should be taking her right to Alderaan, right? To bring her home.
Yeah.
So, just light
That's what I
speed
mean.
there.
It's like, and then, but then what, right? So it's not tracking him after that, unless somehow she's seen the action figure and he comes with the droid, which might mean it ends up with him later.
That's why they didn't show it
Yeah.
on Jimmy Kimmel. They took
Yeah.
it out. It's weird. And if you have a child in your interrogation in your fortress, why would you be like, you know what? She might escape. We don't really lock our doors. We don't lock the water passages. She might escape. I'm going to use this opportunity to place a tracker on her.
But
That-
like, to me, it's not like a story issue. I think to me, it just tells me there's something else going on that we aren't aware of yet.
It seems to be a lot of every episode. It's like, okay.
And I think it's actually said, I saw that they put out a statement being like, addressing some of the complaints of viewers about plot holes or whatever. And they're like, look, all your questions will be answered by the end of this, the 6th episode. And I think it's really sad that they have to say that because people are so impatient to get answers now instead of letting the story play out in completion, like Paul has been saying all week.
Mm-hmm. All many weeks.
It's all series is what I meant. All series.
Yeah.
If it's meant to be watched as a whole, movie in its entirety, that's just something that I personally am struggling with to remind myself, like, hey, give it a chance to play out. But I do have these questions. I do have these things that I've noticed, and I hope it gets pointed out or resolved. Super heartwarming scene where she's happy to be rescued. Just a little hand grabbing your hand. There's nothing better. So they have a heartwarming scene while the other lady is mourning the death of Wade, a real hero. And we cut down to the droid lighting up because red lights equals evil tracker lights, and that is the episode.
You skipped past one thing I wanted to talk about Wade, about Wade's death.
Do tell.
Because, well, when it happened, first I was kind of like, oh, I didn't even remember who Wade was, honestly, right? So I was like, this didn't really do anything for me as a viewer, his death. Like, I don't want to say I don't care, but it didn't do anything, right? But I think the more I thought about it, I don't think it was that death isn't necessarily to drive the viewers' emotions. It was to rally that group of, what do we call them? Are we calling them rebels? Whatever. It was to kind of push the path people to push them forward, right? And to go down the path.
Well, it's like that line what Talis says. It's like, looks like you're soldiers now.
Right,
yes,
right.
That's true.
Beforehand, it was like they never suffered loss. They were able to be safe and stay in the shadows. And what they were doing was risky, but they weren't really stepping in and saying, like, showing up in 2 T-47 speeders and blasting up an Imperial base to facilitate the escape of a prisoner. That's taking an effort part in open rebellion. And so, yeah, it's like, this is a big step. And with that comes consequences. And that's what I think it's a big wake-up call. And it's like, but what they're doing is the beginning of something much bigger. Right, and if people are willing to do that and realize that there is a cost associated with it, never an expense, but a cost.
That's a good point.
Then the stakes are that much higher. And it is like, yeah, shit just got real. Like it's no longer just sort of playing around. Now this is like the gloves are coming off and this is them taking a much more active role in what they're doing. So
I like that because how I was saying, like, oh, they just get rescued last minute and they just move on to the next episode. At least with this, there is a consequence. There is a loss of this rescue. Yeah. So that's a very good point. Thank you.
There's a cost. There's always a cost involved in this. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And in terms of building up Obi-Wan's journey, there's a cost. There has to be a cost. And it's just... That is, we see the toll it's taken on him over 10 years. He was a general. He was a Jedi master. He's hiding in the desert, a broken man who's so closed off and so scared to do anything. He hides behind his duty to look after to be the guardian of Luke Skywalker. But it's a convenient beard for him, and it takes seeing like Leia being put in danger, but it takes him seeing other people doing good to sort of get him to swing the pendulum back and to realize that he is not alone. You can still affect good out there. You haven't, like he says, we lost. It's like, yeah, you lost that battle, but you didn't lose everything. There's still people who are willing to try to do the right thing. And that's essentially, it's a message of hope. And so I like to see that journey, that evolution of Ben becoming Obi-Wan again.
Okay.
That reawakening. I like that. And so this episode was it perfect? No, absolutely not. It was the shortest of all the episodes, 38 minutes. The second shortest one was 41 up until then. But it told the story quickly and efficiently. And if you want to sit, I think you could sit and pick everything apart if you want. In my mind, at the end of the day, does that pull me so far out of just the story that I cannot enjoy it or I cannot believe it? So be it. For me, it advanced the story. I don't.
Right.
Some of it is like, yeah, okay. I'm like kind of some of the logic might be a bit. It's a stretch, but it's a TV show about space wizards and manufacturing space armor. It's not real life. And so, as much as we want to endow that because it is so detailed and it is so rich, I get it. But at the end of the day, it is about the storytelling too. And there are certain things. There's some suspension of disbelief, and maybe it's not quite up to snuff, or it's a bit janky. In the end, what is this story? What is the purpose of these characters, of these moments, in terms of the overall telling the story structure? And I'm along for the ride. I'm seeing character progressions. I'm loving that, and it's like the whole. I'm willing to suspend my beliefs into certain things because it's not real world. It isn't.
It's not real.
It's a galaxy far, far away. And I'm not trying to be an apologist too. Like, I get it. But for me, it never pulls me so far out where I'm like, oh my God. There are moments where like she's talking like really loud to him. And everybody's looking at her. It's like, isn't somebody like going to be like, what are you doing? Right? Like nobody. Yeah. And so I was a bit like, I don't know. But at the end, it's like I got to see Ben Kenobi act like Obi-Wan for the first time in this series. And I like that. I love that a lot. And I saw the bond between him and Leia. I love that. I saw a little bit more peeking behind the curtain of Reva, and I want to see more of what that's about and what her history really is. And I love that. So this is something that is, for me, again, when it's all out, I want to rewatch the whole thing and see what happens there.
Yeah, I think that's fair, man. Like, I agree with you. There are points where I'm just like, this doesn't make sense or this is weird. But ultimately, I think, and that varies from person to person, how far it takes you away from the story. So for people where it does, it's like, I get it. I see. I'm not blind to these things. I'm not like willfully ignorant of it. I see it. I'm waiting for some sort of explanation or payoff. So it's just, I think it depends on everyone's tolerance of their disbelief like this too. So that's just like you said, Paul. It could vary from person to person. Yoko, feel like you got one in the chamber ready to go.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, I don't know. You can choose to be hypercritical and let that ruin a fun story for you. And if you are, I think you're missing the more important points of the story, like what Paul was saying. But there's a lot more I could say, but I'll leave it. I'll leave it there. 10 out of 10 times I am going to choose to let a fun story entertain me and not let the inconsistencies or the issues like that hurt my enjoyment of a space story.
Last week after we ended, Ernie brought up a really good point that I was upset I didn't notice or ever questioned before. And he was saying this series kind of explains or, backs up why Leia would have named Kylo Ren Ben Solo. this whole time. I'm just like, oh yeah,
Right.
Ben, named it after Ben. But like Leia, from what we saw at that point, never trained with Ben, wasn't tight with Ben, like they're homies. But Luke was, if Luke had a son, it would make more sense if he gave that name Ben to, that way. So I'm like, okay, Ben Solo, I guess. But then this kind of fills in that story, this relationship, and then also,
Yeah, oddly enough, though, if you really think about in terms of canon, Luke spent way less time with Ben Kenobi than Leia did. If you're taking the
Leia?
event of what's happening here as Leia as a child, she spent way more time. She got rescued by Obi-Wan.
oh yeah, for sure.
A couple of times. She spent time like that. That's a complete bond. Like Luke was unconscious when he met Ben, right? Like
Yeah.
he taught him a few things on the Falcon, and then sacrificed. He's like, it's like I can't believe he's gone. And she's like, dude, you knew him for like a couple of days. Like he rescued my ass, and I spent like a week with him when I was a kid growing
Yeah.
up, thing, right? So,
But like at that point, and then even in the sequels, Luke was still more involved with Ben, even as a Force ghost too, guiding him, and all that. But this relationship here kind of explains. Oh, now I get why she named him Ben Solo. Is it Ben Solo? Yeah, Ben Solo. Ben Swolo. Gary says Luke would have named his son Yoda. Yeah, I just thought that was a good point. I can't believe I missed that, but Ernie brought it up last week after we went off.
Yeah, why didn't he say that on air?
Yeah, he's
that's why he's a probationary prospect. He keeps missing those opportunities. It's like, it was a great stream, Ernie. You got replaced by 2 cats.
I could hear him too. He's like, "Oh, they don't even speak. Come on." In the Ernie voice. Yes. So I think that kind of sums up how we feel about this episode and our anticipation of the series going forward. Next week, do we decide on Friday? Same Force time. Paul, are you good?
I hope so. I'm planning on it, but I might not be, just because I'm going home on the 16th, and I think there's a baseball tournament that weekend, and I got to spend some serious. I love you guys, but I need some serious family time.
You're choosing family over us?
What?
I know.
Whoa!
I know. But the good news is, you can replace me with like a couple of the cats.
I'll buy a cat.
There you go.
Ernie's like, guys, I'm available next week. Why are you buying more cats? I'm free.
It's nothing but cats. And subbing in for Ernie, a cat. Grooming itself.
All right. So tentatively, I hope if you're watching this still, join us next week. Tentatively Friday night this time. But we will confirm it. And if you want to know where you can follow along, you can get the updates on our Instagram, instagram.com/Boba Squadron, or any of our pages. Yoko, Paul, all of our socials are in the video description below. Anything else before we go?
We just barely hit 2 hours. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're gonna hit the night. Ryan's coming over. We're gonna hit the night market over in Richmond. We're gonna get lots of food, have a good time.
That's why he was talking fast to get rid of
I
us.
am happy. Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe it. We wrapped in time. Don't get any sauce on that shirt.
Yeah. Are you gonna wear that shirt out in public?
No, this is my streaming shirt. This stays for all of you, not for everyone else.
Oh, welcome. Oh, you've been here. Abracalena. Thank you. Have a
Yay.
great weekend.
Man, I wonder if you wore that shirt to buy a Carson Teva pin, if the cashier would have asked you if you've seen Kim's Convenience.
Right.
Looks good. Paul, will you be streaming on Sunday? Undecided yet. Let people know where they can follow you and see your content.
I think I am going to stream on Sunday, just because my good friend Matthew Purdy from Toy Traders dropped off a lovely care package, because
Is he there? Because you keep motioning to that direction.
No, there's a box. There's a huge ass box that he dropped off.
He's in the box?
Is he an Amber?
Bits of him. bits of them are in the box. I won't tell you which ones because you'll have to find it on Sunday.
That's
No,
dark.
so there is he's loaning me his 1/6 scale General Grievous from SideshowCollectibles.com. So I've got a 1/6 scale figure to unbox, a bunch of Haya toys, and this is what I want to point out. Do you remember this Gonk droid? Right? You guys have this Gonky, right? The DC Gonk.
He opens.
Did you know that it does that?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've had him for months, and it like accidentally this came off, and it's like there's a little power unit on the inside.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like that.
So
Instead
I was
of
like,
just being a single block of a figure that you bought.
Yeah, I'm like so totally juiced about that.
Oh, Aiden Skate says 2 hours. I feel cheated. That's funny.
You're welcome.
If you want to keep chatting about stuff, toys, Star Wars, things like that, I just dropped a link in the chat for the Enablers Discord. Discord is like a program, an application, like a chat room. There's different channels. Why you laugh? Different topics. If you're a toy collector, all these different properties, IPs, toy brands, we chat in there a lot. If you want to continue with the Star Wars goodness, feel free to join us in there. Aiden Skate, you're in there. Just feel free to keep typing. So check out Paul, who will be streaming on Sunday.
Sunday, 7:00 p.m. Eastern, 4:00 Pacific, on my YouTube channel, bitterasiandude.com, bitterasiandude.inc.com. bitterasiandude.com is my website.
Yes.
Just keep typing.
Whatever. I'm just gonna be, and I'm gonna be streaming. I have to finish that fucking game.
Yes.
I have to before I leave. I have to finish it. So I think I'm getting closer. But she keeps coming up. Second sister, she's got a bag of tricks. Like there's certain stages where you're getting to her, and I was so close. So I think tonight's the night. I think show up, come back here with a full belly and full of booze, and I'm going for it. So
it's everything you just said has a very different tone now that you've said you have a crush on the second sister. Like replay it, and then be like, now that you think Paul has the hots, and then has the hots for her, what he just said versus if he didn't, the entire context has changed. Everything you said.
You're dirty, Kevin. Hey,
let us know.
I'll admit it. This is not the first cartoon character that I've ever had a crush on. So,
who's your first cartoon character crush?
I would have to say Bugs Bunny dressed up as a woman. Cartoons, I was like, yeah. I don't really weird, right? It's just like Elmer Fudd. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's very alluring about that. And then I think it was Betty Rubble would have been one of them.
Betty Rubble.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
And who else is there? Jessica Rabbit.
Okay, see, well, okay.
It's a progression.
Bugs Bunny dressed as a woman.
Check it out. Yeah, would have fooled me. And
oh my god.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny dressed as a woman fools you, which is why Leia in the trench coat, that whole scene is believable. It's the same mechanics of that
Velma.
Stick with Velma next time as your answer.
Betty Rubble?
Betty Rubble's not bad.
Betty was cool.
April O'Neil. Ninja Turtle.
Mine was Aladdin.
Aladdin. There you go.
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
And then now you're at Shower Bucky.
Yeah.
Mario just came back to that. Wow. Yeah, hour 2, baby.
Come on. I'm sure Mario has a few animated crushes.
There's a whole Discord.
He's got a whole Discord section about it.
Smurfettes.
There you go. See?
Rogue. I get that. Bitter Troll
Don't be
says
judgy.
Velma.
There you go.
No one said Betty Rubble, though.
Don't be judgy.
Don't be judgy. Leave Betty alone. I want
Bugs Bunny dressed
as a woman.
Yeah,
I found him attractive. What can I say? I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, not at all. Please don't. It's hilarious. But yes, thank you. Do you need to go prepare for dinner? in your date with Ryan. I'm gonna get you a. All right, I'm gonna make you a new T-shirt. I know what I'm gonna do. All right. If you need to go, Paul, that's cool. We're just gonna wrap up with no, because I know you have
topics now.
You have a hot date and night market.
Not a hot date.
Bugs Bunny. It's now a fun topic.
You're making it. You're the one making it weird, Kevin. She's like,
Yoko,
I'm gonna get food.
Yoko, what have you got going on? And where can people follow you and see all the cool stuff that you do?
I will be streaming over on Twitch on Tuesdays around 7:30 Pacific time. Live in La Vida Yoko this upcoming Tuesday. What? You think you can do a better job than me?
She's like, don't forget to bring up the other thing.
Okay, come here. Come on. Come say goodbye. Come on. Come on.
She's really going off.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Shut up, Tommy.
She's like confused now that I'm letting her come up. Come on. Well, as we were saying,
like, don't let Ernie back.
Do you want up here or not? I will be unboxing the Captain Rex Hot Toys on Tuesday, is what I'm trying to say. And then
Christopher Colvin just sent me a picture of Bugs Bunny dressed as a lady.
And have you changed your mind?
No.
That was quite the hesitation.
That's hold on.
Is that
That's
it?
Paul.
Oh, Paul left. That's Paul with his crush?
Yes, come on up.
Yes, sorry. You are opening Captain Rex?
Yeah,
at some
we're
point?
going to open Captain Rex on Tuesday. And then, of course, we'll be streaming midnight 30 for part 5.
Amazing. So please check out Yoko. Go subscribe on her Twitch. And for myself, you can find me on Instagram, toying around. Please, if you're still here and you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss when new content comes up. If you're a channel member, there's a review for some Star Wars Black Series figures that I got. I haven't done a review in a long time, but I felt like there's a lot of new members here, and I wanted to put out something current. So there's that, and also I'm working on episode 2 of Hunting Around. Yoko is having her nose cleaned by a cat's tail. But Hunting Around episode 2 coming out near the end of the month. I'm filming episode 3 next week. Appreciate everyone's support and on the content, on the shares, people tuning in for this show and unboxing every week. You were all fantastic, and this is honestly the funnest thing that I can do online, chatting Star Wars with the squadron every week. Are you waving or? Yes.
I gotta go.
Let's all go.
Bye,
Say
everybody.
hi to Ryan for us.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Paul. You
Wow.
You want to hang out or
Man, I can hang out.
what do we
Bring
what are we
in
gonna talk
the
about?
enablers. Let's go 3 more hours.
No,
Okay,
no, let's
okay.
not.
Okay.
I already sent
Just
everyone
kidding.
off. Yes. No, that was a good outro. Yoko, do the outro. I think without the Boba Squadron podcast, people have been missing your outros. Come on. Give it your all.
All right. Well, thank you for returning to live streams with us for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We'll be back next week, TBD, live Friday and or Saturday. Well, not Friday or Saturday, excuse me. At 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. And if you've missed the first 10 episodes of the Boba Squadron podcast, available on the listening platform of your choice, go check that out at Boba Squadron on Instagram. Look us up. We'll be there for you. Yeah? Was that good?
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yoko.
Anything to add, Lucy?
Chat with me, Lucy. Wow. Wow.
Nope, I guess not. I guess we
She's
good.
sleeping. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night and keep touring around. And how about may the force be with you? You do that. Say may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Good night.